So welcome back again. In the last class we have discussed about the interference pattern obtained in a thin film and also discussed about the non-reflecting films. And in this class we are going to discuss about bed-shaped film or a film which is having a non-uniform thickness, that is variable thickness. Thickness different ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഫിലിമിനെ കുറിച്ചാണ് പഠിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത്. അതിൽ ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന interference pattern. So let us now study the interference of light in a film having varying thickness. A film which is having a zero thickness at one end and progressively increasing thickness to the other end is called a wedge. ഒരു വെഡ്ജിനെ കുറിച്ചാണ് നമ്മൾ പഠിക്കുന്നത്. Okay, we are discussing about the wedge and you can see the shape of the wedge. This is the wedge, right? So wedge is having an angle theta. Here at the point of contact, what happens? The thickness is 0, and if you are moving away from the point of contact, the thickness of the film goes on increasing, and it is a film of varying thickness. Study the interference of light in a film of varying thickness. A thin film having 0 thickness at one end and progressively increasing thickness at the other end is called a wedge. A thin wedge of air film can be formed by two glass slides resting on each other at one end and separated by a thin spacer at the opposite edge. The arrangement for observing the interference pattern in a wedge-shaped film is shown in figure 15.9a. The wedge angle is usually very small and is of the order of a fraction of a degree. And when a parallel beam of monochromatic light illuminates the wedge from above, the rays reflected from its two bounding surfaces will not be parallel. The rays reflected from the lower and upper surface of the wedge will not be parallel. And the path difference between these rays reflected from the upper and lower surface of the air film varies along its length due to variation in the film thickness. Therefore, alternative bright and dark fringes are observed on the top surface, and the fringes can be seen on the top surface of the film. And we are discussing the case of the light which is incidenting on the wedge from above, and it gets partially reflected from the glass to air boundary at the top of the air film. Part of the light is transmitted through air film and gets reflected partly at the air to glass boundary as shown in figure 15.10. The two rays BC and DE, thus reflected from the top and bottom of the air film, are coherent and they are derived from the same ray, and I will discuss it here. The two rays BC and DE, thus reflected from the top and bottom of the air film, are coherent as they are derived from the same ray AB through division of amplitude. The rays are close enough. The thickness of the film is of order of wavelength of the light, and for small film thickness the rays interfere, producing dark or brightness depending upon the phase difference. And the thickness of the glass plates is large compared to the thickness of the glass plate is large compared to the wedge-shaped air film. Okay, now you can see here we are having a glass plate and another glass plate is here, and ends of the glass plates are kept in contact such that it forms the shape of a wedge with an angle theta. And you can see here that AB is a light which is incidenting on the top surface of the first glass, which is on the upper area, and what happens is that the light gets reflected from the top surface of the wedge or glass plate, and this light is called the BC, and another light ray which is reflected is called which passes into the air film, and this path is called BF, and it undergoes and here what happens is that light is reflected at a rarer to denser medium interface, and similarly what happens here also. Here we are having a air film, and this film is of varying thickness, and this film is enclosed within a wedge. Air film is enclosed within a wedge, and here also light gets reflected at the point F and it gets transmitted along the DE direction. And you can see here that and this light which both of this reflected light which is coming out undergoes indifference so as to obtain constructive indifference and destructive indifference. And the thickness of the glass plate is very large compared with the wavelength of the incident light, and the observed indifference effects are entirely due to the wedge-shaped film, and the thickness of this wedge is extremely small, and it can be compared to the wavelength of the light which is falling. And these are the things we'll have to consider. And since the secondary wavelets B, C and D are parallel and they are coherent since it is obtained from a primary ray which is incidenting, that is AB, and since it is produced from a single ray AB, these two rays are considered to be coherent, so that we'll get an indifference pattern, and this is what is called the division of amplitude. The amplitude of a single ray gets split into two. The optical path difference between the two rays BC and DE, optical path difference between the two rays BC and DE is given by lambda is equal to 2 mu t minus 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2, and this is the optical expression for the path difference between the rays BC and DE. This is something that we have already studied. Our lambda by 2 is taken account of the half wave due to the abrupt change phase shift of pi radian. Okay, these are all things that we have already studied, and we have this expression here. We have this expression here, and you can see that one. Okay, this is the expression. That is 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2, and we have taken it to here the path difference between the rays, and maximum occurs when the path difference delta is equal to integral multiple of lambda, and it is given here, it is integral multiple of lambda, that is delta is equal to 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2 is equal to m lambda. We get a constructive indifference. And similarly, destructive indifference occurs when the path difference 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2 is equal to odd integral multiple of half the wavelength, and odd integral number of half the wavelength. Then the crust meets the trough, that is the crust of this wave meets the trough of this wave, producing destructive indifference. So you are putting the condition here, what you will be getting is 2 mu t cos r is equal to m lambda. Okay, and you can see here, and if at this point A we are having a dark fringe, which normally take the example of a dark fringe, and the condition for the destructive indifference or the condition for obtaining the dark fringe is 2 mu t cos r is equal to m lambda. We normally take that condition, and if r is equal to 0, what happens? We are having a normal incidence. The angle the incident ray makes with the normal is 0 degree, means cos r is equal to 1. So what you will be getting is 2 mu t is equal to m lambda. And you can see it here. This is the wedge here, and everything is well understood. And suppose at this point K, if we are having a dark fringe, our condition, and if the thickness of the air film, in this region you are having a varying thickness air film, and if the thickness of the air film is specifically denoted as T1, then what you will be getting is 2 mu T1 is equal to m lambda. And now we consider the next adjacent dark fringe, that is 2 mu T2. And I'll give it as thickness of this dark fringe at the point L is T2. So you will be getting 2 mu T2 is equal to m plus 1 lambda. Subtracting this equation 15.19 from equation 15.20, we again get 2 mu T2 minus T1 is equal to m plus 1 lambda minus m lambda is equal to lambda. That is T2 minus T1 is equal to BC that is 2 mu BC is equal to lambda, or BC is equal to lambda by 2 mu. You got the expression for BC is equal to lambda by 2 mu from the triangle ABC. Angle CAB is equal to theta. From angle CAB is equal to theta, and BC is equal to AB tan theta, and you know tan theta is equal to BC by AB. So what I'll be getting is BC is equal to AB tan theta, and we already have BC is equal to lambda by 2 mu. So on substituting, you will get BC is equal to lambda by 2 mu, or is equal to AB tan theta. From that I can get the distance between the two dark fringe, that is AB. AB is equal to lambda by 2 mu tan theta. And for very small angles, what happens is that tan theta is approximately equal to theta, and beta is equal to lambda by 2 mu theta. And we have beta is equal to lambda by 2 mu theta. As the quantities on the right hand side of the above equation are all constant, beta is a constant for a given wedge angle. What happens here is that according to an increase in angle theta makes fringe more closer. At an angle theta is equal to 1 degree, what happens? And you can see here lambda is a constant, refractive index is a constant, theta is a constant, everything is constant. So when angle of the wedge theta increases, the fringe width will decrease. And these fringes will move more and more closer. When angle theta is equal to 1 degree, indifference pattern almost vanishes, and there won't be like on the other hand, if theta is gradually decreased, the fringe separation increases. If theta decreases, means beta increases, that is fringe width increases, and ultimately the fringes disappear as the face of the film becomes parallel. Okay, and you are giving this AB. AB is the distance between the two dark fringes, and that is equal to the fringe width, and that I am given as beta. Beta is equal to lambda by 2 mu tan theta, or beta is equal to lambda by 2 mu theta. Hope it is clear for you. You just go read through the text. And what are the salient features of the pattern that is obtained with the help of a wedge-shaped film? And the fringe at the apex is dark, and fringes are straight and parallel. Fringes are equidistant, and we get localized fringes of equal thickness. And we can study each of these salient features a bit detail. Fringes at the apex is dark. That means we have the path difference 2 mu t minus lambda by 2. And what happens at the apex? Apex means the point where the two glass plates are in contact. At that point, the thickness of the air film is 0, that is minus lambda by 2. It implies that a path difference of lambda by 2 or a phase difference of phi occur between the reflected waves at the edge. The two waves interfere destructively. Therefore, the fringe at the apex is always dark. The fringe at the apex is always dark. So you will get a fringe at the apex to be always dark. Straight and parallel fringes. Each fringe in the pattern is produced by the interference of rays reflected from sections of wedge having the same thickness. The locus of points having the same thickness, okay, lie along the lines parallel to the contact edge. It is understood. We get here, so along this line, what happens? We are considering this line. Along this point, the thickness is same. Okay. So at this point, along this line, the thickness of the air filling along this line is same, and the theta is already in a constant. So what happens is that the fringes obtained will be straight line fringes that are parallel. Okay. Interference of rays reflected from sections of the wedge having the same thickness. This occurs because the light undergoes interference. That is, light reflected from the regions of constant thickness undergoes interference. So normally interference pattern obtained will be straight and parallel. And the fringe obtained is equidistant fringes that we know beta is equal to lambda by 2 theta, which is a constant. Lambda is the wavelength of incident light, which is a constant. Theta is the angle of the wedge. As the quantities are constant, beta is also a constant. And the fringes are seen on the top of the film, and the fringes will be having equal thickness. And in thin films of thickness of order of few wavelength, that is the thickness of the film is comparable to the wavelength of the light, then the rays from the various parts of the film will be normally having the same inclination, and the path difference between the overlapping waves changes mainly due to the change in thickness. The fringes which is produced in such cases are mainly due to the variation in thickness of the film. Each fringe will be the locus of points of same thickness. So normally എല്ലാ ഫ്രിഞ്ചുകളും എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഒരേ thickness ഉള്ള ലോക്കസ് ഓഫ് പോയിന്റ്സ് എന്ന് ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഫ്രിഞ്ചുകളാണ്. അപ്പൊ നോർമലി കിട്ടുന്ന ഫ്രിഞ്ചുകളുടെ എന്ത് ആയിരിക്കും, ഈക്വൽ തിക്നെസ് ആയിരിക്കും. So another portion more, how you are going to find out the thickness or determination of the wedge angle of the wedge എങ്ങനെയാണ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നത്. The wedge angle theta ഇവിടെ രണ്ട് ഗ്ലാസ് പ്ലേറ്റ്സ് ഉണ്ട്, അത് കോണ്ടാക്ട് ആയി നിൽക്കുന്ന പോർഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് O ആണ്. ഇതിന്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ എയർ ഫിലിം ഉണ്ട്. ആ എയർ ഫിലിമിന്റെ തിക്നെസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എന്താണ്, ഈ എഫക്സിൽ നിന്ന് ഇറ്റ് ഗോസ് ഓൺ ഇൻക്രീസിങ്, ആൻഡ് യു സ്റ്റഡീഡ് ഇറ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, സോ and using the microscope you can, and this experiment there is you have to do it in your lab if possible this year. That is this experiment is known as the air wedge experiment, and you are having also the Newton's ring experiment, that also you have to do it in the lab. So you just be aware of the theory, what's happening and all. So using the you generally do the calculation, I mean reading, take down the reading with the help of a microscope. Using the microscope, the positions of the dark fringes, and normally what we are doing in the lab is we take two glass plates, and at one end of the glass plate will be connected with a rubber band so that it remains as the apex, and to introduce the air film we have to put some separator at the other end, and normally we put some hair, that is human hair. Just put a strand of the hair, അത് നമ്മൾ തലമുടി വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് അടുത്ത എൻഡിൽ നമ്മൾ കൊണ്ടുപോയി വെക്കുന്നത്. So we have dark fringe at the point Q, R, etc. Dark fringe at Q is given by 2 mu T1 is equal to m lambda, but as theta is very small, you can write T1 is equal to x1 into tan theta, and or x1 into theta. So condition for the dark fringe at Q is 2 mu T1 is equal to m lambda, and here taking the condition tan theta is equal to T1 by x1, or I can write T1 is equal to x1 theta, and we already have T1, and instead of T1 I can write x1 theta. So 2 mu x1 theta is equal to m lambda. We can write simultaneously the condition for the dark fringe at the position R, that is m plus n is equal to 2 mu having the distance x2 theta, where n is the number of dark fringes lying between the positions Q and R. നമ്മൾ ഒരു പോയിന്റ് കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യും, അവിടെ ഡാർക്ക് ഫ്രിഞ്ച് ഉണ്ട്, പിന്നെ കുറെ അപ്പുറത്ത് വേറൊരു R എന്ന് പറയുന്ന പോയിന്റിൽ ഡാർക്ക് ഫ്രിഞ്ച് ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ ഇതിന് രണ്ടിന്റെ ഇടയിൽ n നമ്പർ ഓഫ് ഡാർക്ക് ഫ്രിഞ്ചസ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ m പ്ലസ് n ലാംഡ ആയിരിക്കും അവിടെ കണ്ടീഷൻ ഫോർ ഡിസ്ട്രക്റ്റീവ് ഇൻഡിഫറൻസ് വരിക. ആ രണ്ട് ഇക്വേഷൻസും സബ്സ്ട്രാക്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ യു വിൽ ഗെറ്റ് ദ എക്സ്പ്രഷൻ ഫോർ തീറ്റ 2 mu x2 minus x1 theta is equal to n lambda. And in the case of air we have mu is equal to 1, and the above relation reduced to theta is equal to n lambda divided by 2 into x2 minus x1. So the thickness of the spacer which is used to form the wedge-shaped air film between the glass plates can be determined from the above measurements. If T is the thickness of the spacer, normally if L is the length of the wedge arrangement we have used, and T is the thickness of the, ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു നമ്മൾ ലാബിൽ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത് ഹെയർ സ്ട്രാൻഡ് ആണ്. അപ്പം ഹെയറിന്റെ തിക്നെസ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാനൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് ഈ മെത്തേഡ് ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ പറ്റും ലാബിൽ. ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു ചെറിയ മൈന്യൂട്ട് തിക്നെസ് ഉള്ളത്, നമ്മൾ വേണിയർ ഒക്കെ വെച്ച് ചെയ്യുന്ന, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വേണിയർ വെച്ചിട്ടൊന്നും ചിലപ്പോൾ അത്രയും ചെറിയ സാധനം കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല, ചെറിയ സാധനങ്ങളുടെ തിക്നെസ്. അപ്പൊ അത് എന്ത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും, നമുക്ക് എയർ വെഡ്ജ് അറേഞ്ച്മെന്റ് വെച്ചിട്ട് നമുക്ക് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ പറ്റും. ഓക്കെ, the thickness of the spacer used to form the wedges T, and the length of the wedges L means T is equal to L theta. So T is equal to L theta means you know what is theta already, angle of the wedge, n lambda divided by 2 into x2 minus x1. So T is equal to L into n lambda 2 into x2 minus x1. So hope it is clear for you. That is how you are going to determine the condition for destructive and constructive interference using a wedge-shaped film, and how you going to get the fringe width lambda by 2 mu theta in a wedge-shaped film, and what are the salient features of the fringe pattern which is obtained with the help of a wedge-shaped air film, and what is the angle of the wedge, that is this angle, how you going to determine it mathematically, and what is the thickness of the spacer so as to create the wedge. And normally I've told you it is normally we'll keep a strand of hair, and we generally use this method for determining the thickness of extremely minute thick material. So hope you have understood the air wedge and how you're going to get the indifference pattern using an air wedge, and what are the conditions or salient features of the pattern, what is the angle of the wedge, what is the thickness of the spacer, and everything. So you just go through this derivation, write down in your notes. It is very simple and easy to follow. Okay, thank you. So in the next class we'll discuss Newton's rings and Michelson interferometer. So we'll close this chapter here, and we'll move to the last chapter, that is diffraction, frontal diffraction and front proper diffraction. So our portion will end up there, and I think we are having some portions that was left pending. That is matrix method. Matrix method is also there, that I can take a bit fast. So we'll finish up the portion. Okay, thank you.